guy easily unattractive?
Oh shit, there's many. When he doesn't have a fresh haircut, when he doesn't have style, when he looks like a frog.
What's your advice to all the men?
Okay, you listening? Alright, the advice to the men is to treat your girlfriend with respect. If you want her to be your girlfriend, you treat her with respect. You treat her like you treat your mom. If you don't treat her like you treat your mom, you're not gonna get her.
You said, why ugly men have high standards for women?
Yeah, I think it's very strange. Like, it's always the fuggliest men that have the most to say.
But who are you to appraise men of how they look? What if they think they're a 10?
Well, again, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I mean, what I might think is a 10, someone might think is, a 5.
But like maybe these men who you think are ugly, like a lot of women think they're 10s.
Okay,
and so wouldn't it
I'm
be
not a lot
fair
of
for them to
women.
have high standards?
No.
Also, what's wrong with having high standards even if you're not attractive?
I mean, I just think like you need to take a good hard look in the mirror and be like, all right, I'm a fugly man and I shouldn't have such high standards.
Should fugly women also think that way?
I don't think women are fugly.
I think some are.
So there's fugly men, but not fugly women?
Absolutely.
Are all women 10s?
Sure, yeah.
Are all men 10s?
No.
Interesting how that works.
Most men are deeply unattractive because of Mother Nature and something called the Great Scam. The scam was the day that the male of the species convinced the female of the species that it no longer needed to prove itself worthy in order to reproduce and have babies. The men are ugly says otherwise, right? They're not supposed to exist. They're supposed to be cannon fodder to the strong, attractive men who are worthy of having babies. They're being like, the men don't take care of themselves, that's why they're unattractive. No, you're fucking a 10,000-year-old genetic anomaly. He's not supposed to exist, babe.
What makes men unattractive? You as the lady. Like, I've realized that when I'm listening to women discussing what makes men unattractive can be very hilarious, because sometimes the answers range from serious character flaws to, let's say, surprising specific pet peeves. One woman might mention dishonesty, while another may say she lost interest because he wore socks with sandals. And the variety can be very entertaining, right? So, that said, when you look past the jokes, there are certain themes that come up repeatedly. And one of it is lack of confidence. Wait, I want you to watch the rest of the video here, and I will come back here with hilarious commentary about this situation and why women think that these are the things that are making men being unattractive.
Most men are deeply unattractive because of Mother Nature and
Yo, what's going on with you, yo? This is like my 3rd time seeing a video of you talking about looks. Now, I'm not going to talk about your looks, but to be completely honest with you, this should be a touchy subject for you. I don't know, because what are you doing? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? The first time I seen you make a video talking about people's looks, I was like, all right, cool, whatever. I'm going to be chill. It's 2026. I'm a new person. You feel what I'm saying? But like, this can't keep going on. This has to you need to stop this. Anyway, I love all of you. Jesus loves all of you. I think all of you are beautiful in your own way. I think all of you are beautiful in your own fucking way. I see that video got a lot of views. Like, are you trying to take advantage of the spotlight that you have right now, which I'm not mad at, but can you please stop making videos talking about people's looks, please? And then when people talk about you, now you want, don't do that.
You don't get to play the victim. You got on here and made a video and said that most men are ugly. And now that people are attacking your looks, you want to play the victim.
And I thank God that I am mentally, emotionally, spiritually strong enough to not be influenced to do something like that by someone like you. But if I was, I'd put your name in the letter so that you would get a visit from the police after I was gone.
Did the thought not cross your mind that prior to making that video of saying most men are ugly, that people would come after your looks? So you would therefore be prepared to be attacked in your comment section and have videos made about you.
Most men are deeply unattractive because of Mother Nature and something called the Great Scam. The Great Scam was the day that the male of the species convinced the female of the species that it no longer needed to prove itself worthy in order to reproduce and have babies, but the fact that the men are ugly says otherwise.
There are some messages, regardless of whether it's right or wrong, that some people should not be the messenger for. And I think you should have sat this one out.
Big boss, the difference between a girl finding a guy unattractive and a guy finding a girl unattractive is insane. You see, when you get rejected by a girl, you know the drill. Sis Wilzani, Ubani Wenar, Umubi. Quick ones, big boss, we know the drill here. But when a conservacious, when you see a girl, you don't find lovely, jubbly, muchos gracias. You act like you've never seen a human before. You act like she shouldn't exist on this planet. What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? You are acting like you've never seen a human before. What is wrong with you? Where is your decorum, big boss? Where is your magistrate court here?
That creator that got on here was like, oh, we don't call men ugly enough. She's absolutely correct. We need to start calling them ugly more because it hurts their feelings. Like, they crash the fuck out if you call them ugly because they don't know how to take it because they're not used to being called ugly. I remember I was at Walmart and I was picking up something on the bottom shelf and I got up 3 different times to let people pass because I was at the bottom shelf and I was in the way. And the 4th time somebody walked up and I was like, let me just grab what I want because I keep going up and down, up and down. And it was a guy that worked there. He was a man. I was like, okay, maybe he'll actually like let me pick what I need without being impatient. And I thought he was going to be a gentleman. No, he was like, you could move out the way. I was like, no, you see me picking up something off the bottom shelf. Why would I jump back up for a man? I let 3 women pass. I'm not jumping up for a man. And he was like, well, you bougie as shit. And I said, and nigga, you ugly as shit. He was like, what? You bougie. And I said, and you ugly as fuck. What the fuck? And he was like, he snapped. He really did. He snapped. He was like, I'll call somebody right now, have them come down here and murk your ass. Because I called you ugly. Oh. You ugly and don't.
I find it so ugly when men have that like skinny little mustache, tiny little goatee combo. Like, ew. Ew, looks so gross. Like, if my comments were filled with photos of like that, like examples of that, I'd be like, ew, oh my God. Like, I'd be so upset.
I literally think that I figured it out. I figured out why this generation of men are so insecure and where the whole nonchalant act comes from. So I think the whole nonchalant act is basically a control tactic. Because what's happening is that man is probably fearful of the woman being able to leave him at any moment that she wants. Because God forbid a woman is in control of her emotions. God forbid a woman is okay with being independent. Because that makes men terrified. That makes a lot of men terrified. Because if she's in control of her emotions, she can't be manipulated. She can't be manipulated. I can't trick you into liking me. You know, some men have self-esteem that is so low that they feel like the only way that the woman could actually like them is if they're able to manipulate her into liking him. Like, some men think it's literally impossible for them to be liked. Only way that they could believe that you actually like them is if they are able to manipulate you, if they are able to control your emotions. Because the one that you let have control over your emotions, they can literally do anything. They can do anything and you'd stay. Men do not want women to have control over their emotions, because she can't be manipulated. And so men try to play on this nonchalant act to make you more drawn in, to get you to chase, because they know logically if they get you to invest more emotional density, then you will be addicted to them in a sense. And the reason why it doesn't feel masculine, it's because they're trying to flip back what women do to them on us. Women don't purposely go out and be nonchalant towards men to attract them. We just be ourselves in our own element. But we can't help but be magnetic because that is our very essence, is just being. So they try to do that. but to us, and that's why it's so unattractive, because it's in a sense very feminine.
You have heard from this, and you have known that what is coming repeatedly is one, like, what makes men unattractive is lack of confidence. Like, you find that many women aren't necessarily attracted to the loudest man in the room. What tends to be unattractive is insecurity that consistently seeks validation, reassurance, or approval from others. Like, confidence says, "This is who I am." Insecurity says, "Please tell me who I should be." Poor hygiene. This one appears on almost every list. And even men, we find it unattractive to women having a poor hygiene. Like, let's say bad breath, body odor, let's say dirty clothes, unkempt grooming, or neglecting basic self-care can make a good-looking man seem less unattractive. Physically, appearance is also very subjective, but cleanliness is something that most people appreciate. Like, for example, you see me, I haven't kept my hair, so I may look unattractive. I don't have muscles. So, there's so many ways that may make men to become unattractive. Now, there is about the arrogant disguised as confidence. Confidence attracts people. Arrogance pushes them away, right? A man consistently brags, belittling others, or act like he's superior often creates the impression that he's trying too hard to impress everyone, right? There is about the lack of ambition. This doesn't mean every man needs to be rich. Like, you find that many women simply want to see that a man has goals, has direction, of and a sense of responsibility. A person who has completely given up on growth can appear unattractive regardless of the income, right? We also have the disrespectful behavior. How someone treats waiters, cashiers, family members, friends, or strangers may say a lot about their character, right? So many women pay close attention to this because kindness is difficult to fake over time. So making everything about himself is also something that is making men to become unattractive. So some men can turn every conversation into a speech about themselves, relationships, friendship. Works best when both people feel heard. So constant self-focus can become exhausting. Like, I get really tired when I find that someone is really bragging about his self-growth and everything and here. Then there's about the emotional immaturity. You being unable to handle criticism, refusing accountability, throwing tantrums, blaming everyone else, or avoiding difficult conversation can make someone seem less attractive, and it is very quickly. So maturity often becomes more important than looks as people get older. So the funny part about this video is that if you ever watched women debate these topics online, you'll notice that some answers became incredibly very specific. Like the way he chews, when he calls every woman like female, when he takes 200 selfies a day, when he starts a podcast after one breakup, when his profile pic is him holding a fish. At some point, it stops being a scientific discussion and becomes a comedy show. So, I don't know how to say this, but I feel that I need also to give the reality is that that attraction is personal. What What one woman finds unattractive, another may not care about it at all. But if there's one lesson that consistently stands out, is this: that most people become more unattractive through good character, through confidence, through kindness, through emotional maturity and self-respect. Looks might get attention, but behavior often determines whether that attention lasts. And yes, judging by some of the stories women share online, sometimes the thing making a man unattractive isn't his appearance. It is the fact that he texted you up at 2 a.m. for the 5th time that week. Right? So let me know what makes women unattractive to your case. This was about women finding men unattractive. How about you, men? What makes you what do you find unattractive to women? Is it the character? Is it the behavior? Is this how he behaves? Like, what makes women unattractive? Let's engage in the comments.